John Cena is literally my childhood hero. It's officially 2025, guys, and Happy New Year. Do you guys have any goals? Do you guys have any plans? What are you guys planning to do? Let me know in the comments below. John Cena is one of the greatest of all time. It's honestly kind of crazy how the opinion of one wrestler has become so universal. Anyone you ask, the answer seems to be that yeah, he is one of the greatest of all time. Through the years, he has saved a whole lot of people in the ring and has clutched scary situations really easily. His moments are special, and in specific, his runs have been iconic, from him rapping to him fighting some of the baddest dudes. He's had some moments. I want to see the John Cena that fought kayfabe on Raw. The John Cena that slapped Stephanie McMahon in the you-know-what. The guy that granted all those make-a-wishes. And the guy that was a real-life hero. One of the main versions that I remember watching John Cena is the version of his purple shirt. Purple shirt John Cena was PG John Cena, and that is a great thing. The things he came up with during this time, from roasting Sheamus to fighting Nexus to confronting The Rock. Purple shirt John Cena was one of the best. After all, this was a time where he was in those Fred movies. How many of you guys actually watched those movies? I watched them. I knew John Cena was in them. That caught my attention. And honestly, I thought they were great. Honestly, this was around like the time I started watching. And one of the main feuds I remember for the purple shirt version of John Cena is The Miz. The matches during this time were pretty crazy. And also I remember The Miz just being mad that he was being overlooked. And during this time, he was pretty much feuding with everybody, John Cena. He was going up against The Rock, The Miz, and Randy Orton. The Rock feud was obviously just getting started here, and this was like huge. You guys know how big this was. The feuds all kind of intertwined. Well, the ones with The Miz, The Rock, and John Cena did. They were all kind of in a triangle, and they were all feuding. The Miz was calling out The Rock. He was calling out John Cena. And he was very passionate about the fact that he was, he was a guy at the time. And during this time, this all was building to WrestleMania 27. WrestleMania 27, where John Cena, where he was wearing a red shirt, went up against The Miz, and The Rock got involved. Also during this time, John Cena feuded with Randy Orton. And one of the highlights during this time was a tables match. A six-pack challenge was going on. Edge, Chris Jericho, they came out there. There was a lot of people out there. And then at the final spot, Randy Orton hit an RKO, countering an attitude adjustment, which was one of the coolest reversals, I would say, in history. You guys know another John Cena that was really dope? Green shirt John Cena from 2012. He had a banger match with Daniel Bryan. And the version of John Cena that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough is this version right here. This version, he obviously went up against The Rock. He also faced off against The Miz. He also went up against Randy, pretty much the same opponent. But there was something special about this version of John Cena. But a version that was really unique is 2010 orange shirt John Cena. This was a version I started watching him in. The day the Nexus attacked him is the time I started watching him, because like 2 days later, it was a rerun that I was watching, and John Cena was getting attacked by like 10 guys, but he wasn't backing down. The story and the angles during this time were crazy. There were a lot of segments where the Nexus were jumping people. Obviously, John Cena was the main guy attacking them, going after them, and then other people started going after them. During this time, I feel like things like this really showcase the character overall of John Cena, the Super Cena, if you will. In this time period, 2010 in specific, John Cena was everywhere with Monday Night Raw. He was feuding with Edge, Randy Orton. He was doing this angle. He was a champ for a lot of it. On top of this, he was doing stuff for the military and Make-A-Wish, like I said earlier. He was very prominent there. One of the main rivalries I want to talk about is Batista. The two, I would say, almost were pitted against each other, and they both became top stars. Batista's whole angle was that he was like just as big as a star, if not bigger than John was, in his opinion. But the WWE pushed John. He was a guy that was on the t-shirts, he was doing the Make-A-Wishes, he was the one that represented the company. He was the face of WWE. They kept going back and forth. And during this time, Batista was a champ. He went into WrestleMania 26 and he was gonna face John Cena. John Cena was the guy that was a hero. Batista was the villain. And I feel like this was a time John Cena was very mainstream. He went into WrestleMania 26 and he won. He had some really cool moments during this year. He was in a segment with Stone Cold Steve Austin where he interrupted Stone Cold. Stone Cold looked like he was about to stun him. He was loading up, but it was friendly. Then he was also a special guest referee. Pretty much counted the three. He called the match right down the middle, which was a way to pretty much put his job on the line. John Cena was battling the Nexus group for a long time. Eventually, he formed together a super team which consisted of a lot of the top guys, including a debuting Daniel Bryan. And he went up against Nexus and pretty much got the win. He went up against old rivals and different people during this time, and he was very prominent in the friend movies. If he's either orange or purple shirt John Cena, we are in for something special. Another version of John Cena that was very great is 2015 John Cena. He was United States champion. He was putting on an open challenge, and these matches are classics. He was getting back to young men and women, and he was doing a heck of a job, I feel like, of putting people over. He was going up against a whole lot of people in the middle of the show, NXT debuts. There was a lot of different things that were happening during this US Open. One of the names that immediately stands out to me is Kevin Owens. The two went back and forth. They feuded. They went against each other at Battleground and Money in the Bank. They both won. And Kevin Owens, being the NXT champion, really cemented the prestige of that championship as he brought it to the main roster. Kevin Owens also cut this great promo with John Cena, and the two were really showing what they were capable of. John Cena, by this point, was a veteran, but he was evolving. He was evolving his moveset. He was hitting the springboard stunner. He was also doing Canadian destroyers. Cesaro, the matches he had during this time also really stand out. It really showcased what both guys could do, to be honest. Cesaro was really moving up with the Swiss Superman character. These matches were, I would say, fast paced. They're both really strong, so they were doing some really cool moves, and it was technical. Dean Ambrose at one point answered the challenge. This show was like so exciting with this challenge too. If John Cena brings that workhorse that we know he has, he's gonna put on some bangers this year. Also, do y'all know my boy gonna bring back the buzz cut, the last run? The next version of John Cena that I want to touch on is the version that started off, well, the second version, Basic Thugonomics John, a guy from West Newbury who was a rapper. He had some incredible moments that were like really funny or entertaining with Kurt Angle, Big Show, and a lot of others. As I'm sure you guys have probably heard the story, maybe you guys have, John Cena tells it that he was about to get fired, but this is what saved him. And this graphic right here tells John Cena's accomplishments. A PhD in thugonomics. I don't know how accurate this is. He was roasting people, he was wearing jerseys, he was rocking a steel padlock on his neck, and it all really got him to that next level. Pretty much, have you guys seen the compilations on YouTube? There are so many of them where John Cena is just rapping, hitting one-liners. He's roasting Eddie Guerrero in the parking lot brawl. He's out here, you know, going up against people one-on-one, rap battles. He's rapping towards the Royal Rumble. He is rapping at WrestleMania, which was allegedly, he was actually supposed to rap against like actual mainstream musicians, and it didn't work out. But the fact that he was picking up that much momentum shows how good he actually is at rapping. This really launched John Cena, and his career was saved. John Cena is such a stud though. I don't know. I just feel like there was something to him. But according to all the people that tell the story, he was about to get fired. Honestly though, some of my favorite moments during this run are when he was doing rap battles. When he was one-on-one in a rap battle. The creativity in this gimmick allowed for a lot of moments to happen, including with other superstars. When Kurt Angle and Big Show dressed up as rappers and challenged John Cena one-on-one, I feel like these were some of the best moments that they've done. This is definitely one of the versions I want to see of John Cena this year. I believe a version of John Cena that is underrated and is also one of the versions that really just showed who he is and his personality is his funny moments. From his early days when he was making fun of people, during his raps, and when he was WWE champion. These moments were really funny, but they're really creative. Also, when he was PG, even though the limitations were there, he didn't hold back. Do you guys remember in 2006 or 2007 where he went backstage and he was looking for something to do with Kurt Angle, and Boogeyman was there? Boogeyman was like a new character, but he was mysterious. Nobody really knew what Boogeyman was capable of, but his watch or the clock he had on his neck, like the character was very interesting. And John Cena's face when he saw it, like things like this really helped other characters, but also showed John Cena's personality. But what about this moment with Sheamus in the ring in 2010? This is John Cena that made me laugh, and this is John Cena that made himself really personable. A John Cena that I want to see this year is a John Cena that conquers all odds. Do you guys remember when he was going up against the Big Show and Edge in the triple threat? And what does he do? He uses his superhuman strength. This boy is out here lifting so much weight that he lifted both of them. He's capable of doing things like this. But what about the time he went up against Nexus? He had a full squad with him, but after a while, that squad got eliminated one by one. John Cena was the only one left. He was the team captain, but he was going up against the odds. Nexus had a few members left, but he went up against him. He didn't back down, and he ended up winning. And I know fans didn't appreciate this, but I will say, what a Superman moment for John Cena. John Cena really had a like 20-year run at the top, and he changed the game. He changed the game in the way that superstars are now getting longer runs, I feel like, and he also made Make-A-Wish a really big deal. And he was a great leader, just overall. He made Make-A-Wish a big deal. He also was an advocate for the military, even down to his entrance where he would do the military like signs. And he really just put on for WWE. Well guys, at the end of the video, which versions of these do you want to see John Cena in? Or is there another? Subscribe, like, something on my channel popping. I love you guys. Peace.